You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. Greetings and welcome to Taiwan Grooves, the program where you can expand your library of existing music and learn a thing or two about the Taiwanese music scene. You'll never believe I interviewed another great artist, so needless to say, you're in for another inspiring interview. And that's really what it is. Now I can say after a year that I have witnessed a great deal of incredibly talented and hardworking musicians. It just feels amazing to hear everybody's story and see what they do, how they did it, what kind of methods they used, what they had to go through. And every time it just leaves me a little more inspired than before. So usually I express the thanks to the listeners for listening, and that is of course as well today. But for now, I would also like to express my deep gratitude for all the artists who have had the time to just come by and have a little friendly chat with me. You guys are great. Now as for today's guest, we'll be hearing the stories from Chen Yi-heng. Yi-heng is a Taiwanese singer-songwriter who writes dominantly in Taiwanese with some English. In 2019, he released his first EP, and at the end of 2024, he has just released his full-on album called Can. Drawing from his experiences with love, loss, and the unpredictability of life, Yi-heng's music blends R&B, pop with soulful folk melodies. Yi-heng's strong ties to Taiwanese culture is very evident in his work, which honors the idols of his life and the music that shaped him. And that's all from me about Chen Yi-heng, but you will find out more about his life and music very soon, just after we sample one of his tracks from his newest album Can. And the track's titled Qi Tao Mi in Chinese, which would translate roughly 7 peach honey.
我这套米啊，无你也要困醒，想着你就缘起，原本拍着去双双了了，亲像迄只乱起来的网啊，从古早开始。 我的这套米啊，所有世间繁华，你拢看不上吧？短短的背着网啊，藏在你的枕头的边啊，做你的爱。 你的歌，伫棉被内底等也袂干，我随要行，你加困的声我知影，伊的面有啥看你的面有这套面，感觉。 做你的人。无见面啊，你讲你最近去甲头早，我不敢问你迄只破啊，感觉在你迄枕头边啊。 做咱的梦，你的歌，伫面 感觉的负责你的啊。
Welcome here to the studio. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you for coming again, because you were here just not long ago.
Yeah, actually I was,
Yeah, so I appreciate it. Sorry to drag you all the way once again.
It's gonna be the first time I go on a full English program.
All right.
Yeah, so woohoo!
So, who do we owe the pleasure to?
To Funky Mo. Yeah, if you are a regular listener on this show, Funky Mo is gonna be 2 shows before me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
right.
like that. Yeah, exactly. All right. So we got Chen Yi-heng.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing your name
Yeah,
right?
Chen Yi-heng, exactly
Yi-heng.
right.
Okay. And you're a Taipei-based musician.
Yeah.
If you were to describe, obviously we're going to put some samples of your songs so
Right.
people will get a better idea of what kind of music you produce. But is it possible to characterize your music, like with some keywords?
I'm a little too greedy, I think. So there's gonna be probably quite R&B stuff, but there's gonna also be like Bon Iver, folky, indie stuff, and maybe some pop stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll just say it's pop. It'll be easier.
But the influence of R&B is very like heavily heard there, and it's
Thank
very
you,
nice.
thank you. I was a huge Red Hot Chili Pepper fan when I was in high school. Yeah, I love I admire or I worship the guitar so much. I bought like the same guitar.
Frusciante's special.
John Frusciante, 1962 Fender.
Oh.
Yeah, his is original 1962. Mine is a reissue, so but still.
That's nice.
Yeah,
you're still a fan, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm still a fan.
Okay.
I still play that. The entire album was recorded on that guitar.
Wait. So all of the guitar is recorded by you?
Yeah, actually, it was. Yeah.
I was gonna ask. You're an amazing guitar player.
Thank you. This some studio magic. So
wow.
Big shout out to Zhongwei, the producer.
Oh, definitely.
And all the recording engineers in the studio, because I wasn't that good.
No, I mean, look, there's one thing to make post-production and to make it sound right, but the guitar licks are by the player.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you.
And it sounds great. I was on the way here. I was listening to My Heart Is Inside You.
Oh, that was the EP actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was I feel like the guitar there was really like.
Dude, that guitar wasn't me. That guitar wasn't me. No problem.
Sorry.
Yeah, the EP was recorded by the Jamie Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know his name? He's actually quite a well-known session player in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was all him. I laid down the demo. But he made it.
He embellished it.
Yeah, exactly. But on this album, it was all me. So
okay,
this is more.
So I Thought That We Care is still your guitar for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Sorry. I'll save that. Let's dive more into history. I would like to know, how did you come to be a music fan, or just like how did you get music?
Into music? Well, when I was a kid, I think a lot of Taiwanese people have this 西洋情歌精选100. It's like a like 10 CDs and filled with like Western pop songs.
Like a mix of
like
everything.
a Beatles and what else? Jim Croce. And it's like a famous TV commercial.
Okay.
Like 西洋情歌精选100.
Oh, like selling sets of CDs.
Yeah, the TV commercials, and we got one set of that. So that's one of my introductions into Western music, I guess.
Nice.
And I joined a club or 社团. After school. Yeah, a club, and the club was a songwriting club. Yeah. 附中乐研. So that was actually my real door into Western music. So I started to listen to, I don't know, Red Hot Chili Pepper, as we talked about earlier, and John Mayer.
Yeah.
And then with John Mayer, I said, oh, there's a guy called Jimi Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix, oh, there's a guy called SRV. So that's like the whole
blues
journey.
guy.
Yeah, the guitar heroes. Exactly. So that was the my introduction to maybe Western music, I guess. And during university, I started to listen to more maybe Motown stuff, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, all that good stuff. I'm not sure the
you
word.
got good taste, you know.
Thank you. They're the classics,
Yeah.
you know. So Motown stuff and maybe D'Angelo. So that's my introduction into maybe R&B and maybe soul or new soul. Yeah. So that and Bon Iver. I'm not sure, like Bon Iver. Do you know the dude Bon Iver? Not dude, but there's a band.
I always thought it's Ivor.
Oh, Bon Iver. It's a French name actually.
Okay.
It's for a good winter.
Oh wow.
It stands for good winter.
Okay, I've been mispronouncing this band's name for
Bon Iver,
a decade.
but I think he's American, so a lot of American must call him Mr. Ivor or something. But actually, his name is Justin Vernon.
Okay. So you joined the songwriting club. Did you have any prior education or like some of your family, siblings, anybody who was like, hey, pick up a piano, pick up something else? Or were you just like right away, guitar is what I fall in love with?
When I was a kid again, we had this 才艺课. So it's actually a piano that I studied, but it's kind of mom wants you to play it kind of vibe. So I wasn't really into it. So, you know, Asian households must learn an instrument, but don't be a musician.
I always ask this. I get it. I always ask this and I get very similar answers. But I believe that it had to do something with like helping you later on in life.
Definitely. So
I'm jealous of that because I didn't have it.
Right. Actually, yeah, we privileged, I think, for having the opportunity to play and own a piano at in your house. So when I picked up a guitar, it's not like a whole new thing. It's actually okay.
There's some intervals.
Exactly. Yeah. So
awesome. So and then high school. Let's say you maybe some covers, bands, had fun. Yeah. Now you graduate. Go into the university?
Yeah, and everything stopped.
Music-wise?
Yeah, I think about writing music, it stopped.
So you didn't go related with music education?
My major wasn't like social studies.
All right.
So I was in Japan. So everything was quite new, and I was actually studying, so there was not a lot of time for, you know, messing around on my guitar and with friends and then band. So everything stopped. But I still watch a lot of shows in Shibuya and Shinjuku, all these places, because, you know, Tokyo, there's a lot of stuff happening there. Yeah. But quite expensive.
But the music scene there is incredible.
Incredible. But it's incredibly expensive too. So in Taiwan, we're actually blessed that you can pay, you know, 500 NT and get into a live house. And they also... Or
even nothing, some jam sessions with some quality musicians.
And they also give you like some beverages.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, that is... You need to buy a beverage like after you buy the ticket. Right. It's not included, and it's a mandatory drink.
Oh, so heavy on the pockets and the wallet. Yeah,
I know, right? So in the university, everything stopped, and when I came back for military services, it started again.
A lot of time to think.
Yeah. And for
in the hand.
For bye for 文化部 for subsidies actually. We actually got a grant, and everything started from there.
Very nice.
I think the most important thing was the club I joined in high school. I never thought I'm gonna do music or play a guitar before I joined that club. So
thank you, club.
Thank you, club. 附中乐园世界.
Hey, shout out. If I'm not mistaken, your first EP came out in 2019?
Yeah, exactly right.
And just last year released your first full album?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Finally.
I mean, it takes time.
It took a while.
It takes time. It's not, just month to month. You just suddenly have everything. I don't know if you heard of, let's say, Yufu. He's very Motown soul.
So good.
I
listened to it, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and I listened to it yesterday again.
And he was like, writing songs for me is not the problem. It's finishing them and putting them out there. And I was like, oh my god.
Finishing them is the hardest thing for artists, I think, because we all start stuff. We all like to start stuff. We never want to end stuff. We don't
Why should you end something when you can start another thing?
Yeah, exactly. Why commit? Why commit to the thing?
Yeah, so now I get it. It's just, you might have in progress 50 songs, let's say, but just to put out an album and really be satisfied with the result, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's totally different thing. Yeah. I think for writing songs and making an album, you need to consolidate all the ideas and then commit to every song. Like, okay, this is the best I can do. Let's let everybody see the thing.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part for me. I think for a lot of people too.
Definitely.
I think Yufu too. Yeah.
Definitely. I think every artist is just how it was in your case when you like came out with an EP and an album. Did you have different feelings, different like aftermath, like feeling like, okay, I'm postponing it not because it's not finished, but because I don't think it's finished. Like I don't think it's 100%. Like I want to still tweak some stuff.
Always never finished. There's always snippets of I think I can do better that time, but it's always the case. There's never a perfect, song or production. But still, the difference between EP and album, for me, I would say would be the album is more. You can see me naked, or it's more me. I was saying like guitar and the bass on the EP was dubbed by 老师, really really well. Talented session players.
Yeah.
But on this album, a lot of guitar parts and bass parts it was actually me, and also key parts it was actually me. So you hear me.
Right.
So that is the best I can do, and I feel more authentic,
yeah,
with this album than the EP. And the size, there's 12 songs on this album. It's quite a lot of songs in this era, and the EP was 4. So structuring the whole thing was a lot harder than the EP. So the EP just I need a happy song, I need a sad song, and more or less the same topic will be fine. But on this album will be a lot of topics I want to touch about, saying farewell, or a golden age, like the feeling of melancholy or nostalgic theme was on this 罐头塔 album. Can. Is that you know what a 罐头塔 is, right? A 罐头塔 is actually a thing made of canned goods. And it's usually seen in memorial services in Taiwan.
Okay, so it's not a can of something.
No, it's a tower of cans.
Yeah.
It's actually like a custom. But it's a very commercialized custom that usually when people passed away in the past, the family wouldn't have time to buy stuff and shop and cook, so people will bring them food. You see them a lot in a lot of other cultures. Like we give them, okay, this is something I made, so you do all the services work and you don't need to cook. We're taking care of you. We care about you. But in Taiwan, we also did that. But at some point, gifting people cans was kind of a cool thing, because at that time cans are expensive.
Yeah.
So we started giving cans, like pineapple cans.
Yes.
And maybe some other
Tuna
kind of can.
Or something.
Yeah. But at that time, that was the thing. If we give you a can or canned goods, it means we really care, because that stuff's expensive.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's turned into like a 罐头塔, so a canning tower of goods. So that is like a one-of-a-kind thing that you only see in Taiwan. Not even in other Mandarin-speaking cultures. You don't see 罐头塔.
Yeah, that's the first time I hear this.
Yeah, so in past few years, I actually attended some memorial services because people passed away. And I see those things. They're so colorful. And there's no rules about what kind of can you can put in. I actually saw whiskeys. So it's like a whiskey tower. And it's in a glass cabinet, and it rotates, and there's lights. I'm like, okay, that is something I haven't seen before for 罐头塔, because usually it's like canned goods. It's just apple cider and cola and maybe some stuff to eat and maybe some Pringles and stuff. But that was a whole tower of whiskey. Like, holy, and it's like the kind of a very Taiwanese feel. Like there's no rules within this custom. As long as you show respect or show that you care, anything actually will do. But you don't see that in Japan or other cultures. People are more conservative on
more unwritten rules.
Yeah, there's more, or there are more rules that you don't give people that if people dies or something. But in Taiwan, it's very free, I think. So that's the thing that really stuck in my heart. So the album name was set to be 罐头塔, can. It turned into a canning tower. So that's the name that came. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thanks. That's nice to share.
Yeah.
All right, so you said more authentic, more genuine, more
exactly
your thing. What made you to change that you were not gonna get session players anymore? Because when you do live performance, you still need session players.
I didn't make. We still got a lot of session player, but the guitar part was all me. That was like a decision made by the producers. Zhong Yu and A&R is Chen Yi-heng. So Howie and Yu, maybe you've heard of their names. They're actually A-list producers in Taiwan.
Good.
So they had the courage, I think, to like, let's keep Yi-heng's stuff in this. Let's let
the confidence. They saw you playing hey, you can play your own stuff.
I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want me to play on all this stuff? Yeah, but after some studio magic and a lot of practicing, it turned out, I think, it was the best I could do. Yeah, yeah.
And you did, yeah.
And we hired a lot of session players, like Tony Parker.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of basses. Jack. There's so many. So there's still a lot of session players. I didn't do it all by myself. Yeah. Just for the record.
No. Of course. I mean, you're already busy with guitar, piano, and bass. So if you did drums and everything else, I would be.
I would be Jacob Collier. I'm not him. And I don't want to be him.
Oh, nobody's Jacob. So now, when you perform.
Right.
I'm just curious, like what instrument do you go
guitar.
with? You go with guitar.
Yeah, guitar.
And you hire, let's say, somebody on piano, on the keys, somebody on bass.
Yeah, and maybe guitar players, because some of my tracks have two guitar parts, and I don't want to play maybe programs and stuff.
No,
looping.
Tough.
We'll see.
Just interested for my own thing.
That's the best.
Yeah,
your own interest is the best.
I'm curious. I'm a very curious person.
Please do.
So now, did you have any different, like you said, once you came out with EP, it was easier because you need a happy song, sad song, just put it out there.
It wasn't easy, but comparing, it's not that hard.
Okay. Now, when you do 12 songs on an album,
right?
I always wonder if the artist's album always have to have some theme that the songs fall into, or does it have to follow a story?
It follows a theme, or we said that Guanhou Tai is actually the canning tower that on memorial people sent to the families.
Right.
So that's the thing that I want to keep, as in you maybe when you're playing this album, you're attending like a memorial services, or it's actually a show, because I made some interludes. There's 3 interludes actually, and one is a complete song, but other is buried into 2 songs. So I want it to be like a, not Shakespearean, but some kind of play that has 3 parts, have 3 scenes. So I want it to be, in the first scene is more really sad or really angry, and the second part will be maybe calm down a little bit and think about the past. Maybe you're brewing stuff in your mind. You're more humoring yourself. And then the third part will be maybe you feel a relief, or you understand, or you don't care. You stop putting that on your heart. But it's still there, saying goodbye is you're doing that for your whole life. So, and the last part is actually sending off the guests. So the 12th song, please listen to it. Now their play clicks are not that high, but I really love that song. The last song. It's called Songke Miyokuri, because I couldn't find like a word for seeing the guest out. Like a in the first part, you're like greetings. Yeah. And then the last part will be like the end of the ceremony. And then when you see the guests out, because in Taiwan, we call it songke, or songke is then seeing the guests out. And in Japan, there actually was a word. So I took the word from Japan called miyokuri. It's actually see the guests. So the owner of the restaurant or the family will walk out the door, and then they will bow and look at you before you need to cross the road or go to somewhere that they couldn't see you. Then they can finally go back home inside. That is actually like when I see that in Japan, I was like, holy, people do that, because the alley was long, and we were just walking the alley, and we still when we look back and see them, they still like notice us and bow.
So nice.
Yeah, but still the pressure. So when the alley is long, you need to walk really fast, because they are waiting for you to disappear. Right. So we call the 12th song, we use miyokuri. So if you know any English words for that part of the ceremony, the last part, seeing the guest out, because I didn't want to put seeing the guest out.
Right.
It's kind of deflects the heaviness or the officialness of the album. Yeah. So the theme is saying goodbye and like a memorial service. So I planned all the songs in order for the whole idea to work. So
that answers perfectly, because my Taiwanese is almost non-existent, very limited, and a lot of people perhaps who will be listening. So it's good to know what's behind that when you listen to the story and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, some of the songs are people passing away. Some other songs are maybe your relationship with your former good friends or people.
Also splitting.
Yeah, splitting, or it changed as time passed.
Yeah.
Or your love or your belief in some subjects, or probably music or some people.
Yeah.
They also change as time passed. So this one is about that. So if you're kind of angry, or you don't understand, or you're really sad, this album is about that.
And unfortunately, we're running out of time, so that's all we have to say for today. But worry not, there will be another episode next week where we're going to discuss more about writing music in Taiwanese and Yi-heng's live performances. So I'll talk to you guys next week. And just as our usual tradition, we have a little bit of time to listen to another song from the wonderful album called Can, titled 我不信, or I Don't Believe It.
Was a night for me, was a night for you either. The time wasn't right for me, wasn't right for us either. I can't know how to make no time and time again. Time again, time and time again. 回到刚刚